let's see. Oh, she seems to draw a lot of little stick figures all lined up. Look.
Cheap apples at the market is what all of them say.
What? Little figures can speak?
He's stupid!
It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that.
It's a good job?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, go back to that line.
Yeah!
It's a good job. What?
Sure, that's English, I guess.
English is a beautiful language.
But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears.
Oh, I should have never doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say?
Jesus Christ, Susato.
Susato. Welcome back, everybody. I'm pretty sure it's been more than 5 minutes. I'm sorry, Mr. Strongheart, but we need to talk about some stuff. But first...
I'm not mad at you, I am simply disappointed.
Well, he didn't specify if it was 5 minutes or 5 days a minute, so...
Damn, you're right!
Could I show you this, Lord Strongheart?
I mean, you can show me anything if you're not a coward. But I am the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence.
You can't... Okay. Oh.
Especially when the evidence in question is so dull.
Oh. So that's the real reason.
Yes.
I might be presenting that article to a lot of people as we move along, just because I think there's a couple funny remarks here and there with that. Red-headed League.
Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million.
30 million?
30 million!
30 million?
30 whole millions!
Whoa! Are there even that many people in the world?
Yes!
Mr. Naruhodo, as a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital, Tokyo, is 2 million.
That's a lot of people!
Yes, it is a lot of people, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a good thing you didn't try to measure it
That
out.
is exactly 15 whole Tokyos! I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries.
Sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here, at the heart of our great British Empire.
Lord Strongheart, the doves got out again.
Ah, yes, they do that. That's fine. That's another task I've relegated to Fanseeks.
Oh, Fanseeks.
Not great.
In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World.
He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something.
Yes!
You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
No! I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions.
That wasn't our fault?
I don't think he's saying it's our fault.
Okay.
But he's like...
I was not blaming you, but if you wish to take blame...
It's because it sounds like it's accusatory, but which I feel like somewhere deep down Strongheart is blaming us, but also like
Yeah.
logically he's like, well, he's just doing his job, so I can't actually be angry at you.
I mean, I'm blaming the team, but if you wish to take some responsibility for any of this,
Oh, no,
please,
no.
by all means.
It's alright, no, please continue.
No, please, go ahead, I'll wait.
No.
But if not, then I shall continue. I first established a forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, I was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department.
And can you not do that now?
ミスなるほど、リントルーム。
Obviously, I cannot do that now. Nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep this story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say.
Unintended repercussions of our trial.
Oh, that almost sounded like an admission of guilt there, Mr. Naruhodo.
Nope.
We simply couldn't have overlooked what happened, though.
Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way.
Okay.
Spoken like a true Castlevania, dude.
About Lord Van Zeek's apprentice.
Ah, yes. That came as a surprise to me, I must say. That you and he are old friends.
How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeek's in the first place?
Nepotism is likely the real answer, but it came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my! So he stowed away to get here.
How did he know to come here? Wait,
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia, too. Other than the fact he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeek's. That way I could keep an eye on him.
But then, why the mask?
I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zeek's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice.
Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask?
Yes!
he needs to
Mr.
wear this
Naruhodo,
mask.
you need to learn... Mr. Naruhodo, there's a lot you need to learn about British culture.
He needs to wear
yeah,
this mask.
apparently.
Why? So he doesn't learn that he's of Asian descent. Couldn't he look at any other part of his skin, like his hands?
Naruhodo, you must understand. It's the racism.
I understand that part, but I'm saying the mask doesn't do jack squat.
The reason why it's the racism is because the only part that he'll be paying attention to is the slanted eyes. Because racism.
You said, not me.
Yes, are we all on the same page now? About the racism?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
of
sure.
course.
Yes.
Now, he's proving to be of a great help to Lord Van Zeek's. I have high hopes for his future.
By the way, do you know where he's gone?
No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being.
What?
So it
He's
sure
gonna-
would be unfortunate if you had a touching reunion with him recently of some kind.
He's been of great help. Also, he's gone and we don't know where he is.
Man, you're bad at keeping track of this guy.
Oh,
I take it you also didn't know. That the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean.
Genshin Shogi.
Yes, Genshin left quite an impact in our country.
Not again! What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was...
Ah, yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
There were such awful murders and unprecedented. Using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
Wait, hang on, what?
You know, the Hounds of the Baskervilles.
I legitimately don't even remember that part. Was that brought up yesterday while they were talking about it and unmasking? Yes, last time when they were talking about it unmasking. I don't remember.
No,
I forgot about the dogs. I completely forgot about the dogs.
The Hound of the Baskervilles was brought up back in the 5th case of the first game. That was the first mention, at least.
I get it, I understand, but also at the same time, it's like, dogs? That was like 50 years ago. I don't remember anymore.
In fairness, I think this is the first time that we're learning of it directly,
Yes.
that the case had to do with dogs.
Yes, because it was like kind of a one-off little thing that keeps coming up, but no one is really talking about it.
Yeah.
That just threw me off so much. I'm like, wait, what? I know it's probably like setting dogs loose, but in my head, I just imagined like Final Fantasy VIII, Renoa with like the Nilo Angelo missile. Just kind of like, don't get close to me, Cox dog. I'm armed.
I was thinking about the Corella movie.
That's almost the similar, really. Like, have you played Final Fantasy VIII?
No.
Okay, Renoa can take her dog and load him up on her arm like a crossbow arrow and just shoot him.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's the Nilo Angelo missile.
Oh, okay.
And there was a dog named Missile back in Ace Attorney.
Oh god, that's where the name came from! We've discovered the first recorded moment when someone used a dog as a missile.
Oh my god.
It's this. The Hounds of the Baskerville is literally just a dog being used like a missile. That's it. That's canon.
What is happening?
That's canon to Ace Attorney.
What is happening right now?
We're writing canon, Taisa.
Just nodding my head to all of this.
Alright then.
I've connected the dots.
I don't think you connected.
I've connected them.
He connected them in the same way they steps a pen through a paper.
I
So
don't
that
know,
way you
these
get
could-
one
these-
dot connecting to another dot on another page.
These dots being connected is upon the levels of Herlock Sholmes right now. Okay, I think we need to stop.
My god, I'm real live Herlock Sholmes. And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause.
Huh? Supporters of a mass murderer?
Mr. Naruhodo, no one just goes on a killing rampage. They have motivations and causes, and okay.
It depends.
The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole.
So why didn't they take out the Gilded?
He was probably on the list. Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed, anyway.
Right. I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it?
Yes,
Cool
it was
story,
a cool
bro.
motive, but still murder.
It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Was that it, sir?
Oh, okay.
And that's the end of that.
Alright, sir. Alright, cool. Alright.
I'm glad we had this long discussion, Mr. Naruhodo.
I've connected the dots.
We're just gonna leave it there, I guess.
Are you gonna tell me if I've connected them or not? No?
Anyway,
No?
on your way now.
Okay then.
Alright, well, that was a good chat. We're back in time for the client, I guess.
Aha! Here is my guest now. My latest client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating, save locating a runaway, of course.
Well, now that you said it.
Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
You know what would help? Selling the car.
Yeah.
You'll have to
You'll
kill
do
me
you'll
for
do
it.
anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You'll have to pry from my cold, dead hands unless they make a new one.
Hurley, do you even use that car? I stand corrected. Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially just before the rent is due. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please. Please find my husband. He's run away.
Oh, actual runaway.
Wasn't she one of the jurors, or am I crazy?
Yes, she is a jerk.
Okay.
You upset me.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind. A personal matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo?
I didn't say a word. What?
What? Why are you doing this?
Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
Of course.
What's the matter, Mr. Sato?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently.
Yes, now that you come to mention it.
It's not a holder between the two of us that I'm the only one with eyes.
As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure.
Oh boy.
Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam.
Why are you lying?
Being offered a case to solve is reward enough.
This man was made specifically to annoy Lewis and no one else.
I've never seen someone that makes me so angry.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence.
I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also.
If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be...
Oh, me?
What am I about to tell you? I would like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand.
These are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything which you may say to me.
Oh, I see.
I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's very hard of hearing.
Wow. Why did I ever get my hopes up?
So it seems like Sholmes is your ears as well, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do I? I can. Huh. Interesting. Mrs. Visual, would you mind casting your eyes over this?
Oh, my poor Daly. Where have you gone? What's become of you?
I'm afraid she's too worried about her husband to pay attention, Mr. Naruhodo.
I like how we got this detail because the game just assumes we've already talked to her. Either that or she just doesn't want to be bothered with me.
It can be two things.
It can be both.
Dave, Joel. Mrs. Vigil, Mr. Vigil.
Huh. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps.
Oh my!
Oh, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English.
Oh, shut up.
If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion.
But aren't we already having tea?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week?
I knew I recognized her.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly. It sends shivers down my spine.
We have a name for her. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now.
It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer. Being hard of hearing, I mean.
Wow! Pardon? Oh my god, Ryunosuke!
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really, nothing more.
Now look what you started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much.
Well, you played into it, so that's kind of your problem.
I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner.
Yes.
No, I'm going to ask you more questions.
Hmm?
Tell us about your husband, madam.
Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here.
So if you put his name together, Daily Vigil.
Yeah.
An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married?
It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things.
Oh, gosh.
Your dress is the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me.
Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or other.
Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will?
Does he work for the Gilded?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warder at the prison.
Ah,
Oh,
a guard? That is somewhat unusual.
So, your husband is a prison warder.
That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
ooh.
Ah, I can see that. Money, yeah, okay.
Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation.
Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out.
Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments?
And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged?
Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
No. Lowgate Cemetery? The very place we were discussing in court.
That's right, Naruhodo.
That's
Just when you think
unbelievable.
things aren't connected, they're all connected, because there's only one location for everything.
Unbelievable, my dear fellow, and yet undeniable.
Sorry, Mr. Sholmes. I'm afraid you've lost me.
Pay no heed, madam, pay no heed. A private matter.
This can't really be a coincidence, can it? Huh.
So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing?
Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, yesterday?
That really is recent. Laughably so.
I don't think it's funny, Naruhodo.
The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night. But this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day. That has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened?
My dear Miss Vigil, please calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally. But sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for a day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
Okay, now I understand why she was saying, hey, don't laugh. Because, well, maybe he'll just come back the next day, but...
I mean, the saddest thing is that's kind of how it is right now, too, when
I
someone
know,
is missing,
that's-
so
yeah,
it's really
so
frustrating. I
it's-
get it, but it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
Uh-huh.
You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention.
You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it.
Thank you for everything you've shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure.
So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes.
Good news shall be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession.
Photograph of Mr. Vigil. A photographic print received from Mrs. Vigil in order to aid with locating her missing husband. He appears to have no particularly distinctive facial features.
Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous.
Thanks, now get out.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
That's kind of
That's what he said.
Honestly, yeah.
Thank you. Now let me show you the door.
You know,
It's like, thanks, leave.
I think it every time, Harry. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow.
Oh my god.
If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sell the car.
Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Please sell your car.
No! Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case?
What do you mean? We're hard of hearing.
Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. He's still mad about that.
Excellent. And what did you make of it?
Well, this is your problem, not ours.
Well, I was surprised to learn where a husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean.
Ah, so you noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Locate Cemetery.
Oh, I guess I am back for this. Locate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So it was renowned among us students at the university for it being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where a notorious man was incarcerated.
The professor.
And now water from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem.
It's all very peculiar.
Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry? So why am I doing this?
Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried.
But aren't you going to go yourself?
Surely we needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair!
You just saw a client with it, though.
But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? Ryunosuke may have his moments, but, you know, sometimes he says what we're thinking. It's great.
Yeah.
That was a quite different matter.
No, it wasn't.
So, I'll leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy.
With what?
Doing what? Where are
Undoing
you
this
going?
hair!
That's your fault, man! Of course you are. Okay.
He only let us listen to the conversation because he wanted to pawn off the work on us.
I-
Good for him.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. So I guess we gotta do Mr. Herlock-Sholme's work in the next video because we're out of time. We'll see you all then. Bye-bye.